I just came out of an investor's due diligence audit on the SaaS platform we're building for a client who's raising external investment. And let me tell you, it was a wild ride. Their technical consultant thoroughly went through everything with a fine-tooth comb. It was pretty intense. But the good news is that it went well. In this video, I want to share with you the main items to look out for so you don't have any surprise and you can get ready next time you get an audit from your future investors for the next unicorn app that you're building. Let's get to it. Hey, welcome to this new edition of Digital Blitz, your short brief on everything UX, tech and compliance. I'm Sylvain Reiter and I'm here to help you make better decisions and succeed in digital by delivering better experiences for your team and your customers. When you build a digital product, either as a bootstrap business or as part of a growth strategy into launching new product to new verticals, in most cases there will come a point where you need to raise funds to grow or sell your platform, your app entirely and exit. But in both cases, those investors from private equity firms or through late round of venture capitalists, they will want to run a full technical due diligence on the platform architecture against several criteria. Because this will give them the peace of mind that there is a solid base, that their investment is safe. They're pouring in several millions of dollars, of pounds. Want to make sure that the actual product that is built is not unstable, it's not going to crash like a deck of cards and could collapse at any time when you add the next feature or when you start driving more traffic and build more users to it. Those finance guys are no tech experts. They usually bring external consultants who specialize in this type of technology like web application. They're not necessarily expert to a specific programming language. They will follow the concept and best practices for digital application. Their goal is really to find technical impediments that would negatively impact the growth objective from the investors. To that effect, they will be very thorough and look at four main components. The first one is the product. They look at the basic features, the end-to-end user journeys and what else is coming up in your roadmap. Then look at the existing markets you are attracting, but more importantly, at the potential addressable market for growth. This means they're going to have to look at rolling out your product in other verticals or white label it to resell the same service to partners under a different brand, for example. And this is key. As we said, most of the time they will be looking for growth. The second point would be the code audit. Looking at the development tools that you are using and the repository of the source code. I'll be looking for automated test coverage, how the different models and controllers are structured, the database formats, but also how you monitor the performance to try and identify potential bottlenecks when your traffic increases to 5 or 10-fold. I'll also be looking for documentation to share knowledge and onboard new team members, so don't get stuck into one specific developers when if they resign they'll take all the knowledge away, so that's also important. And finally, we'll make sure the code is written in a maintainable way, that there's no legacy issue, and in the developers community you talk about spaghetti code where everything is disorganized, that you can't do anything with it, so that's one thing to plan well from the beginning. Third point is the hosting architecture. In most cases, a digital app would be hosted in the cloud, so they'll be auditing the services that you use, the type of servers, database, caching, queues, email system, and so on. Similar to the code audit, they will focus their attention on the performance and redundancy. Again, they'll want to identify potential point of failure and how the architecture can scale without major refactoring. One of the main things to be clear with the auditor early on about the stage of delivery, the stage that you're at with your product. Are you still building the MVP, or do you have all the features you need to scale and take it global? Because that will impact some of your decision. There's no point implementing a full distributed architecture if you're still at the MVP stage trying to validate the concept. The final and fourth point is the processes. The auditor will be looking at the compliance of the data privacy regulation in your region. We'll also be looking at the security element of your hosting, such as penetration testing and disaster recovery planning. Finally, they'll review your development process around agile, regression testing, and how you're supporting your application, support SLA. So again, if you're planning to scale globally, you might need to upgrade your team and your processes to cover 24/7 support, for example. In our case, the application we built for this client was a custom-built application. But one of the risky areas that we'll want to explore more in a future video is how you would approach those type of audits if you had built your MVP with a no-code or low-code technology, because usually you would have less control over some of those elements and you might have to refactor some of it to scale. And look, most of the items I share today will not necessarily make or break a potential investment deal, but it might impact the level of commitment and paint more realistic pictures to the investors about the state of your technical platform and where they can take it. So it's important to take that very seriously. If you're considering taking your web application to the next stage, I need a reliable partner to ensure smooth technical audit on your platform and tweak your processes so you can demonstrate that it's ready to scale. Leave me some comments below or get in touch. You can watch more videos about technical compliance on my channel, and don't forget to subscribe to keep learning with me and grow your career in digital. Until next time, stay safe and see you soon.